How's it going, guys? My name is Alex. I am a sex coach, and today I'm going over 5 subtle things that you may be doing that are absolutely destroying your sex life, ruining it, scaring your sexual partners away. They're never going to want to have sex with you again. They're going to tell their friends about how terrible you are. Just kidding. Calm down. You may be doing these things, and they may be ruining your sex life, and you don't even know it. So that is why today I'm going over these 5 things so that you guys can have a better sex, better sexual relationships, and all that kind of stuff. So if that sounds interesting, join me in this video and let's learn some stuff about sex. Subtle thing number 1 that you may be doing is apologizing or being insecure about future sexual endeavors. So you're talking to your partner and you're kind of already apologizing for things that haven't even happened yet. So you're saying, yeah, I'm okay at sex. I'm not that experienced. My penis isn't like amazing. I guess it's average. It's average, right? So people tend to do this in a lot of different areas in your life, not just sex, but people tend to do this because they want to kind of get it out of the way. They don't want you to bring attention to it because it's something they're already insecure about, and so they're just going to kind of put it out there so that you can't be the one to do it first. They're going to do it first. They're going to get their insecurities out. And what this does in sex, because sex is such a mental experience and sexual pleasure is determined by mental factors more than physical factors, what it does is it lowers the expectations of the sex in your partner's minds. So they're already thinking, okay, he's telling me these things, then the sex probably isn't going to be that good with him. And guess what then their brain is going to do when you actually are having sex? They're going to perceive it as worse than it actually is because they want their expectations to match reality. And this is not a good thing. You don't want this, obviously, because they're going to kind of subconsciously or unconsciously diminish the quality of sex because you have told them to diminish the quality of sex. You have told them not to expect anything good. And so why would they, right? So that one makes sense, right? It should. Okay? Subtle thing number 2, that is expressing any negativity, any judgment in the realm of sex to anyone, anywhere. So this doesn't have to be directly to your partner where you are judging them or being negative about sex with them. But if you see stuff on TV and you're with that person and you're being judgmental, you're being closed-minded, you're being negative and you have negative attitudes about sex, this is not a good thing and it could be destroying your sex life. For a similar reason to the first thing I discussed, this is all about mentality. What we want in sex is our partners to be as present in that experience as they possibly can. We want them to be enjoying that experience, not thinking about insecurities, not being anxious in any way, not being stressed in any way. And if your partner has insecurities or they have performance anxieties, that's going to pull them out of the experience. That just leaves less room in their head for the pleasure, for the enjoyment, for the kind of loss of control and presence of mind. And any negativity or judgment in the realm of sex, not even directed toward them, just directed towards sex in general, is going to tend to close your partner off because they don't want to be in that category. They don't want to be judged. They don't want to be criticized negatively. They don't want that. And so they're not going to be as expressive. They're going to be more in their head. They're going to be more reserved. And that is going to diminish the quality of the sex because they're not going to be able to be as aroused, as passionate, as into it, as horny as they possibly could be had you not had that negativity and had they not perceived any negativity in sex. Especially when you're discussing these things one-on-one with someone and they're like, hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about this sex position? And you're saying, oh no, I don't like that. That's weird or anything like that. That is going to shut your partner off. Even if what you were discussing isn't something your partner actually wants, they're going to extrapolate that judgment. And they're going to think, what if they are judging me about other things? They were pretty judgmental about this thing. What if these other things I'm doing are being perceived negatively or they're judging me for these things? And that obviously is not a good headspace to be in if you want to give your partner good sexual experiences. So you got to cut that out. You have to be open-minded with sex. You can't portray any negativity. You can't be judgmental. Of course, you can say that things are not for you, but just do it in a way that doesn't involve negativity, tearing people down, being judgmental, or being mean-spirited. Just be tactful and be open-minded. If you're not already open-minded, then work on it for yourself and truly enjoy sex and get rid of the negativity that you may have. Because sex is a great thing and you should be enjoying it, and there shouldn't be any negativity. Third thing that you may be doing that is killing your sex and killing your sex life. And this one, the first two were more on the mental side. This one's a more physical thing. This is changing up the physical technique way too much. So in porn, we see the people changing positions every minute, every 90 seconds, or even quicker, or they're doing different physical techniques, they're fingering a different way, and then they change it up, or whatever it is. That is porn. And they're just trying to cram in as much as they can so that they get as many viewers as they can. In real life, sexual pleasure is built up over time. And if you keep kind of cutting it short, it just prolongs the amount of time it'll take to get to that top end goal, which is the orgasm. You want to be able to provide a continuous flow of physical stimulation. So if you're stopping to change positions, and then you're going, and then you're stopping to change positions, and you're kind of killing that rhythm, not only is it going to kind of confuse the hell out of your partner because they're thinking like, why are we changing? It felt good what we were doing. But you're also just kind of causing yourself to have to build up that physical stimulation starting all over again, starting fresh. And I don't want to say that you can't change anything and like once you start fingering someone then that's it until you reach orgasm. No, what I'm saying is don't model your sex after porn and change things up too much. So stick with a couple positions, a couple things with foreplay. Honestly, simplicity is better. And then the more simple you are, the more room you have for variety down the road, which is hot and stimulating, and people are going to want that. So just keep that in mind. Try to always have a continuous flow of physical stimulation. Fourth way you are ruining your sex life. Imagine this scenario. You have a super high libido, your partner, not so much. And so you are constantly begging your partner and wanting to have sex with your partner and possibly even forcing them, and they're like, I'm not in the mood tonight, and you just kind of push it and they're like, okay, and you guys have sex. This is, okay, quick disclaimer, this is all in a relationship. I'm not talking about rape or anything like that. So in a relationship, okay? Pressing your partner, what this does is it almost makes your partner resent sex if you're doing it more than they ever want it. And so if you have this imbalance in libido, then you guys have to figure out a way to kind of combat that. So possibly when your partner is horny, the other person, you guys have sex multiple times in that one session. Or you provide a bunch of orgasms to whatever partner has more libido than the other to try to compensate for that kind of discrepancy between sex drives. And this is going to happen in almost all couples. There will be periods where one partner doesn't want sex as much as the other. And you gotta work with that. The more we force it, the more we try to get it when it's not necessarily the right time, the more our partner will resent the sex. And in that moment, in that sexual experience, they're not gonna be present. They're not gonna be enjoying it. And so now you have a bunch of sexual situations that your partner possibly resents that are not enjoyable for your partner because they were kind of forced into it and it wasn't necessarily something that they wanted at that time. And so now they're going to want sex even less because all of the experiences in recent memory are not what they wanted and they were not good because it wasn't something that they were present, enjoying, horny, aroused, and passionate about. So try to figure out a strategy to kind of get on the same wavelength sexually. I know sometimes this is hard. Different things happen in your life. You will survive waiting a little bit for some sex. It is okay to wait, especially for your partner, so that you can continue to have great sexual experiences that your partner doesn't resent and that your partner can actually enjoy every single time. Trust me, you will be happier and have a better sex life if you just cut back, have sex when it is right for both of you. The fifth thing that you may be doing that could be killing your sex life, that is getting in the routine of drinking or doing any other kind of drugs before you have sex to loosen up. So yeah, alcohol is going to loosen you up. It's also going to loosen up your thing down there. And you know what happens when that gets loosened up, right? Nothing. It doesn't work, right? So this is both a mental and physical thing. Cloudiness, anything like that is going to prevent you from being in the moment, being present in that experience, is going to reduce the quality of the sex. And then the physical things that are inhibiting your performance, obviously those are going to affect your sexual performance as well, right? Because they inhibit performance. So yeah. That made sense. Anyway, this is kind of an obvious one. I don't need to discuss this too much, I don't think. But yeah, drugs and alcohol can reduce performance. They can reduce pleasure. They can reduce sensations. And they could lead you to doing things that you may regret or wouldn't have done under sober circumstances. So just be careful for that. So that'll do it for this video. I hope you guys learned something. I hope that if you guys are doing any of these things, that you cut these things out so that you're not killing your sex life unnecessarily. So anyway, if you like this video and you feel like you learned something, leave me a like. I would really appreciate it. Subscribe if you are new. And until next time, thank you so much for watching. I truly appreciate it. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.